Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 15 things in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare that you might not have noticed before. Because that game's been out for a while, but there's quite a few interesting things here and there. So, starting with number 1, on the mission Game Over, there is a fake reflection on this map. So, if you take a look at this lake here, it may look like there's a big reflection in the lake. You see all the buildings, the trees, and everything. But it's not what it appears to be. This reflection, it's all fake. It's not a real-time reflection or anything. In fact, what it does is it actually duplicates the map, but flips it upside down, and then it puts that layer of fake water over it. So from the upper perspective, it looks like it's reflecting the map, but it's actually just the map being duplicated. Now, COD 4 is not the only game in history that's ever done this. This was a common trick for reflections back in the day, but it's pretty interesting that they actually did a pretty good job of it. Now, for number 2, on the mission crew Expendable, at the very beginning, the sleeping Russians here, the sleeping sailors, they actually can't be woken up no matter what you do. You can shoot your pistol everywhere, you can throw flashbangs, they just won't wake up. You can even throw a grenade there, right under them, and, well, that's not going to wake them up. Actually, it doesn't even kill them at all. They just cannot be woken up, and the only way to kill them is either you knife them or you shoot them. Now for number 3, on the mission All Gillied Up, there's a near the end of the mission, you come to this part where you see a dog that's eating the dead body of a Russian soldier here, and well, the soldier is dead, and you're supposed to leave the dog alone, or else the dog will attack you, and his pals will come chasing as well. But as you can see, here's a pool of blood, and the soldier appears to be very dead. But earlier, just a little bit before that part of the mission, when you're over here, if you alert the enemies here, you get everybody to turn against you, all the dogs, all the soldiers there, everyone, they all turn against you. If you do that, and then you come back here to where that dog and dead body is, first of all, that dog will actually charge you right away without you even alerting the dog. And that dead Russian soldier, he comes back to life, and he'll just run around and start attacking you. The pool of blood is still there on the ground, but the body is now alive. And yeah, it's a very odd thing that happens in this case. Now, for number 4, on the mission Crew Expendable again, you come up to this part where, there's a bunch of enemies up above that are shooting you, and the chopper here, that fires its minigun to take them out for you. But if you actually can get a closer look at the gunner, well, there actually is no gunner. The minigun just fires by itself, and well, that's it. It's basically like an automated turret. I don't think that's the only mission that happens on, but it is noticeable on this mission. Now, for number 5, during the mission, the cutscene mission, the coup, at the very beginning, you see these 2 signs up here. If you look at the one on the left, well, obviously, it's in a different language. It's in Arabic, and if you actually translate it, it actually literally translates to Infinity Ward. It's a reference to, the developers Infinity Ward, and I believe it's actually like a transliteration. I believe that's the official term for that kind of translation, but that's basically what it translates to. Now, I think it shows up several times in the game as well. Now, for number 6, the ZPU turret gunners here, or whatever you want to call those, they, well, what's interesting about them is they just die from like one hit from a flashbang, and by one hit I mean like an impact from a flashbang. Just a simple tap from the flashbang, and they're dead, which is pretty surprising, because normally, well, pretty much in every other case in COD 4, enemies, when they get hit by like a grenade or a flashbang, they don't die. They might take a little bit of damage. It'll stun them a bit, it'll injure them, but none of them actually die from one hit, except for the gunners on those ZPUs. Now for number 7, this one's kind of a funny one actually. So during the mission Game Over, you're in the Jeep here, and it's being driven by Gaz. I'll show you here just to make sure that you can see it. It is Gaz right there. So Gaz is driving, and at the very end of the driving part, the bridge gets shot out by the chopper. But when it gets blown up, when it gets blown apart, even though Gaz is driving, he still demands the driver to stop the bloody truck. And it's kind of odd because he's the one driving it, so he doesn't need to tell himself to stop it. He needs to stop. But for some reason, he tells himself to do that. Now for number 8, Zakhaev, he actually has a secret weapon, a secret secondary weapon that, well, in normal gameplay you won't ever see him pull it out, but if you can actually like, survive this part long enough or, delay it somehow, then, after he shoots you with his Desert Eagle, he will run out of ammo, at which point he will put it away and he'll pull out another gun, a different gun, and he'll continue shooting you with that. So his main weapon can actually run out of ammo, and he has a hidden second weapon, and he just holsters that his main weapon, in an impossible way. Which brings us to number 9. He has an invisible arm, which you could see by the way he holsters his weapon after it runs out of ammo. And I'll just show you guys again one more time. So here, he shoots you, and then after a little bit, he runs out of ammo. Well, actually, first, this is where you normally die if you're not invincible. But if he keeps shooting you, he will run out of ammo, and that's where he pulls out his other gun. And, here, you see, like, he holsters it, or with his other arm. And you can even shoot his other arm if you aim it just right. His other arm is basically invisible, but it is still there. It's just, invisible, but it is still shootable. Now, for number 10, the BMPs on the mission all gillied up. The BMPs are basically like these tanks here that roll around, but during this part where you're supposed to hide from all the enemies here, you're supposed to crouch and then you follow Macmillan, or you gotta avoid them if you want to keep going. And if they do get alerted, all these enemies, they'll shoot you, and then the BMPs will shoot you as well. Well, if you keep waiting and you follow them, eventually all the enemies, they'll run away into the distance around this corner here. Into the radiation field, I might add, and they're all fine. But, they're all over there. Once they're like far enough, they will despawn, but in general, they're far enough away from these tanks or the BMPs. If you shoot the BMPs, it won't alert them at all. Now, of course, if you shoot the enemies that are running away, if they're still there, then the BMPs will get alerted. So, being visible, shooting the BMPs, they won't get alerted. Only, actual humans being alerted will alert the BMPs as well. And speaking of the BMPs, normally you're supposed to avoid them and not fight them, and if you do, oftentimes you don't really have a chance to survive them unless you like hide and take out all the human enemies. But if you do have like enough explosive firepower on you somehow, then the BMPs can actually be blown up. They're not indestructible, contrary to popular belief. It takes about 3 RPGs, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, depending on where you hit them on the BMPs. It just takes just a few, and then they'll blow up. And well, that's basically all there is to destroying the BMPs. It is possible to destroy them, in fact. Now, for number 12, the chopper during the mission, the enemy hind, I guess is what it's called in game, cannot actually be destroyed. You're supposed to shoot with an RPG here just to kind of like distract it. But if you do actually manage to hit it, you won't actually be able to blow it up. It doesn't actually do any damage. So here we'll go in slow motion, and you can see if you actually do get an RPG to hit it, it will impact it. It will detonate, but it won't do any damage at all. And it doesn't matter if you actually keep shooting it, keep getting multiple impacts. It'll never blow it up. And that's the same with MWR and classic COD 4 as well. So I'll show you one more time again here. Firing the RPG, and eventually, it is pretty tricky to hit it. That is true. But if you do actually manage to hit it, then you will see it does impact. It does explode, but it doesn't do anything to it. Now, for number 13, on the mission FNG, if you look out in the distance, or the easiest is on PC if you use no clip to fly out into the distance, you will see a bunch of cars driving out there. And you can see this on inside the map if you walk to the edge. But, the easiest way is, of course, to fly all the way out there to get a better view of it. But you will see out here, there's a bunch of cars driving on the street here. And these cars, they drive at random speeds. Like they're spawned, and then they're given a random speed at spawns. And there's really no, order to their speeds. So sometimes a vehicle may spawn faster than the one in front of it, and it will rear end that vehicle and pass right through it. And other times it'll spawn slower and stuff like that. But it's all random, and every now and then you will see cars rear end each other on that road. Now for number 14, on the training course, after you finish the training course here on FNG, Captain Price will react to your time. Now, no matter what happens, if you get a time that's better than like the record, Captain Price will still criticize you and say it's okay. And I'll let you listen to this line here.
Go! Sprint to the finish! That was better. Not great, but better.
So, as you can see, even though your time is like way better than the record, Captain Price still judges you for it. And still say like, you know, he seemed better. I bet if you even got like a 0-second time somehow, he'll still say the same thing. But MWR, that's actually been fixed. The dialogue is changed at this part.
Through the door! Hit the targets! Sprint to the finish! Final position, go! That's a new squadron record, so not bad at all.
Alright, so, for number 15, for our very last one of this video, during the mission FNG, of course, there is actually an unused obstacle course, which apparently, from what I've been told, it was supposed to be used at one point. So it's essentially cut content that's still here. So if you you actually don't need to mod or use noclip or anything to fly to this part of the obstacle course. You actually can walk around to it, but it's right here behind the main obstacle course. There's another obstacle course back here, where there's a lot of targets, a lot of obstacles and everything all set up. But it's never actually used in-game, no matter what. However, apparently the Nintendo DS version of COD 4 does use an obstacle course that's just like this, or very similar, from what I've been told. I haven't actually played the COD 4 DS version, but apparently it kind of uses something similar to this cut unused obstacle course. Now, that's basically it for this video, but let's have a little mini bonus round of a few other small interesting things here. So once again, on the mission FNG, the vehicles, basically all the vehicles on this mission have no drivers or pilots. Like you can see here, this helicopter, it's flying around, it takes off, it lands and everything, but it has no pilots in it at all. And likewise on the road here, where all the drivers are rear-ending each other, these cars are all apparently self-driving cars. Yeah, self-driving cars back in like, what, 2007 when the game came out. But anyways, the next one is also on the same mission. There's a mug here at the very beginning that has a picture of someone's face on it. So it's right over here when you pick up your weapon, and you can see it's well, I believe it's actually a developer that works on Infinity Ward, or at least like one of their relatives, friends, or family members, something like that. I don't know exactly who it is, but that's it is an actual person. And for the last bonus thing during this obstacle course, the last thing you gotta do is you're supposed to knife this watermelon here. But if you choose not to knife it, there's actually no other way to destroy it. Shooting it, I believe blowing it up if you could, they all do nothing. The only way to destroy the watermelon is by knifing it. So that wraps it up for this video. Hopefully you did find it to be interesting, and if you did enjoy it, then make sure to leave a like. Leave your thoughts in the comments if there's anything that you think I missed, or stuff that other people might not have noticed before. Then feel free to let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with the latest videos. And aside from that, I will see you all next time. Bye guys!